While Fox host Bill O'Reilly is almost certainly going to get through unscathed through all the accusations about the various lies that he's told about his time covering foreign wars, as the days pass, more and more people are questioning his account of those wars and of other issues as well. And so while I'm going to leave the Falkland Wars, the updates on that to another video perhaps, in this I want to talk about an even weirder lie that he's apparently been telling, and some what looks like very credible evidence that it is in fact completely untrue. So one of the issues that he was sort of investigating as a reporter, even before the Falklands, in 1977, he was trying to find out more information about George de Mohrenschildt in Palm Beach, Florida. Now, this is one of the men who allegedly knew Lee Harvey Oswald. And so because Bill O'Reilly says that he's taken such an interest at that time in the assassination of the president, as I'm sure almost every journalist did, he wanted to get more information. So according to Bill O'Reilly, he went to Palm Beach, Florida to interview George de Mohrenschildt. As he went to the door, he heard a shotgun blast, and the man had committed suicide. Which is interesting timing, of course, and if that's true, that is simply amazing that a reporter would have been there at the exact same time that the man committed suicide. Such an important man who had just recently testified about what he knew to a congressional committee at that point. Except, of course, it's not remotely true. Now, he wrote about it in his book, in Killing Kennedy. He says, the reporter went to the door, he heard the gunshot. By the way, that reporter's name is Bill O'Reilly. Never call him a blowhard. He certainly doesn't write like it. But of course, it's not true. Now, multiple of the people who worked with him at that time are saying that not only did he not go to the door to hear it, he wasn't in Palm Beach, Florida at all when it happened. So we have Byron Harris, who was a reporter at WFAA at that time for 40 years, said that he had not gone to Florida. He was stealing that man's reporting on de Mohrenschildt's suicide. He just took it straight out of a newspaper, apparently. And there's multiple other people at the time who had been there who said that not only was he not at the house, but he wasn't there in Palm Beach, Florida as well. Now, this happened even longer ago than the apparent lying about the covering of the Falkland Wars in Buenos Aires. And so to know for sure whether or not he was there is going to be very difficult. And at the end of the day, sort of similar to the Brian Williams lies, does it really matter whether or not he was at the door when the man committed suicide? At the end of the day, the story is not about whether or not Bill O'Reilly was there, it's about whether or not it actually happened. Nobody questions that it happened. And this is, at the same time, the sort of lie that makes you question the mental state of the people who tell these lies, to just constantly tell lies where you have to be involved in bigger issues. Like, for instance, if Brian Williams, in fact, was lying about seeing bodies during Hurricane Katrina, that sort of thing. Like, the story happened. The story is relevant whether you were there or not. The idea that it matters if you were there, that we should respect you more if you were there. And so at this time, like the people who worked with him at the time say that he's made it up. As more and more lies come out, it does seem like Bill O'Reilly is the sort of man who would lie to put himself smack dab in the middle of issues that have nothing to do with him. Now, we don't know if this is going to end up being confirmed as a lie. But what I like is that whether or not Bill O'Reilly actually makes it through the Buenos Aires lies, people are starting to dredge up his past. I don't know why it didn't work before. I mean, he's told so many lies on air. Why weren't we looking into his past, his early past? It's obviously difficult to interview these people, I understand. But apparently, if he lied about the shotgun blast, if he lied about El Salvador, if he lied about Buenos Aires, this seems like a man who routinely is willing to pump up his own significance when it comes to the important domestic and foreign news of the day. As I said in the intro, it looks like he's going to make it through it unscathed because the media has simply decided that he will. All the articles say, well, it's not really gaining any traction. Well, yeah, if media and Politico and all these websites keep saying it's not gaining any traction, since they're the ones it would have to gain traction with, then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is sort of too bad. But Bill O'Reilly, he is turning out to be an even bigger liar than we had expected, and we've been paying a lot of attention to him. He might not get his show taken away, but there's got to be some kind of consequences for this.